stay clean. I know I'm clean. I don't use anything. You know, it's just hard work and dedication.
Talk so much crap, you know. Talk so much stuff. But and when he comes, he gets the opportunity to fight, and then he go takes his drug. Well, what did he? Well, he drank in 10-minute water. I bet you money. We can't wait for the excuse.
And hit AJ, knocked him out, and killed him. God forbid if that happened. And this guy's on game, he's found that he's on game. What I'm saying is that they now need to talk about legal action outside of boxing to say, if you take this, you are legally going to be prosecuted because you could kill somebody.
Daniel Dubois wasting no time shutting down the PED allegations after that brutal win over Fabio Wardley. Dubois sounds calm, confident, and completely unfazed by the noise surrounding him right now. After all the criticism and accusations flying around online, he's making it crystal clear that his victory came through hard work, discipline, and pure fighting spirit.
I think the commission's done everything. They're doing the best job they can do to clean it out and find the people that are, you know, doing that sort of thing. So, you know, drug cheats need to, you know, they need to step aside and let real fighters fight.
Cheats is this. It doesn't make you a better fighter. I boxed 3 drug cheats, beat 2 of them, drew with 1 of them. It doesn't make you a better fighter. So you take your gear for whatever reason. It doesn't make you technically better. It doesn't make you throw a better jab.
Meanwhile, Frank Warren defended the situation by making it clear that boxing rules already deal with these matters through official punishments and suspensions. Warren believes once a fighter serves everything required by the commissions, the sport has to move forward. Still, fans remain divided as the pressure around Daniel Dubois continues to grow after the Fabio Wardley fight.
The fact of the matter is, it's like if you go to prison, you're found guilty of a crime, you go to prison, you serve your sentence, and the slate gets wiped clean. And it's not a lifetime ban, it's what it is. If it's a lifetime ban, then that'd be the end of it. He's served everything he's had to serve under the...
Daniel Dubois appeared completely relaxed while responding to the accusations and insisted that outside opinions are not affecting him mentally. Dubois made it clear that he knows the truth himself and has no interest in getting dragged into online rumors. Even with the controversy building after the Fabio Wardley fight, he still sounds fully confident in his position.
People are going to talk, and I guess it doesn't bother me. I know I'm not none of that, so really that's none of my business. I don't really care to even think about.
Wade Plemons reacted to the savage nature of the fight and praised both heavyweights for the punishment they absorbed inside the ring. He especially highlighted the terrifying power Daniel Dubois was carrying throughout the contest, and how Fabio Wardley somehow kept surviving bombs that would have folded most fighters instantly. That is also why the PED accusations exploded online afterwards, because many fans simply could not believe the level of destruction Dubois brought on the night.
I mean, this got to a point where Fabio is stumbling around. He's not even aware of his surroundings, it doesn't look like. The doctors are checking on him round after round. And, you know, I said Daniel had big stones to get off the canvas. Fabio Wardley's got a chin of iron because he ate some absolute nukes. Shots that put Anthony Joshua on the floor from Daniel Dubois and probably would have put a lesser man in the hospital that night. I mean, I'm sure Fabio's in the hospital now, but stretcher.
Derek Chisora gave a brutally honest reaction while discussing fighters who fail drug tests and the excuses that usually follow afterwards. Chisora sounded frustrated with how often boxing hears stories about contaminated supplements or accidental mistakes after controversy appears. His comments added even more fuel to the debate surrounding Daniel Dubois, because right now the boxing world is split between those backing Dubois and those demanding absolute proof that everything was completely clean.
Bad beef, or there's gonna be tea, or it's gonna be them burritos that's been eating in Mexico. Fucking mug.
Carl Froch focused more on the technical side of the fight and criticized Fabio Wardley's approach against Daniel Dubois. Froch believes Wardley abandoned smart boxing and became too desperate for knockout shots, which allowed Dubois to punish him repeatedly. According to Froch, the performance was more about tactical mistakes than any conspiracy theories. Still, because of how dominant and dangerous Dubois looked, the accusations have continued to follow him everywhere after the fight.
Fabio Wardley neglected all of his little bit of boxing skill, what he's learned over the white collar and through the fights that he's been involved in. I mean, he's had a fantastic career, and I don't think this is the end of Fabio Wardley at all, but he showed that he's a bit naive and a bit green. Like I said, his attacks were very crude. I don't know what Ben Davison should have been telling him. Stop throwing that overhand right from out of range. It's like, He's looking for the knockout punch. He's not even got his feet in range.
Eddie Hearn made his position very clear by saying fighters who intentionally cheat should be banned for life from boxing. However, Hearn also pointed out that he does not personally believe Daniel Dubois falls into that category. That statement is massive because even with all the noise surrounding the Fabio Wardley fight, influential people inside boxing still appear willing to give Dubois the benefit of the doubt until any official evidence says otherwise.
I believe that any fighter that has knowingly cheated in a sport of boxing should never be allowed to fight again. Now, I do not believe that he's one of them.
Barry McGuigan sounded genuinely concerned for Fabio Wardley after the punishment he absorbed against Daniel Dubois. McGuigan believes the damage was so severe that a rematch could become seriously dangerous for Wardley's long-term health. That tells you just how brutal Dubois looked on the night, because respected boxing figures are now questioning whether Fabio should even return to the ring. At the same time, these reactions are also why the PED rumors became such a huge talking point online, with fans struggling to process the sheer physical domination Dubois showed during the fight.
Rematch, but I don't think he should fight. I genuinely don't think he should take that rematch. I think that's too dangerous. I genuinely think he took way too much punishment, and that was so severe. If I were him, I'd never fight again.
Dominic Ingle gave a very honest assessment and suggested Fabio Wardley may have already reached his ceiling in the heavyweight division. Ingle praised Wardley's toughness and journey, but admitted there is a major difference between fighting contenders and dealing with an elite world-level heavyweight like Daniel Dubois. He believes the damage Fabio has taken over recent fights could eventually catch up with him. Once again, comments like these only increased the debate online because people were stunned by how physically overwhelming Dubois appeared from start to finish.
Slight difference, fighting a world champion, a legitimate world champion for a title, and beating a world champion who's already a world champion. And Fabio Wardley hasn't beat a current world champion to be the champion, has he?
Josie Parker's been a champion.
Yeah, but he wasn't the champion, right? So
Don Charles proudly defended Daniel Dubois and made it clear that the criticism surrounding his toughness should finally be over. After years of hearing people question Dubois mentally, Charles believes this fight proved beyond doubt that Dubois is a real warrior capable of digging deep under pressure. The trainer also sounded convinced that even bigger achievements are still coming in Dubois' career. Despite all the PED accusations and controversy surrounding the Fabio Wardley fight, Team Dubois clearly believed this victory only strengthened Daniel's reputation at the highest level.
Nobody could ever question this young man again. Yeah? All that quitting nonsense, nobody will ever question him again.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world under you.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
There's more to come. There's more to come. We were in there with a very dangerous fighter in the name of Fabio Wardley. He should be proud of himself.
Buddy McGirt believes the early knockdown completely changed Fabio Wardley's mindset and forced him into chasing a knockout instead of boxing smart. McGirt pointed out that Wardley abandoned the basics and became predictable, which allowed Daniel Dubois to take control as the fight progressed. Even after all the punishment, McGirt still respected Wardley's heart and willingness to keep fighting. However, with the accusations now hanging over Dubois after such a destructive performance, a potential rematch would probably become even more controversial than the first fight itself.
Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch.
Johnny Nelson broke the fight down from a technical angle and explained how Fabio Wardley actually started well before things slowly fell apart. Nelson praised the movement, jab and structure Wardley showed early on, but believes everything collapsed once Daniel Dubois kept applying pressure and landing heavy shots. According to Nelson, Wardley simply had no backup plan once the momentum shifted. That is why many fans remain shocked at how dominant Dubois became as the fight wore on, which naturally led to even more discussion and suspicion surrounding his physical performance afterward.
The first half of the fight, he kept his shape. You know, the jabs were working, dominating head to body. He kept slinging that big right hand over the top. Now and again, he's whip it up the middle. He had good feet for a big guy, good feet. And I thought, you look the part. But then there was no plan B that he could rely on if that didn't work. And you saw from round 6, he lost his shape. The shape had gone because there was no plan B. You know, when he get hit, he was like he completely turned. And trust me, this boy's got no coward in him.
Derek Chisora absolutely ripped into Fabio Wardley's performance and questioned whether he was properly prepared for a fight of this level. Chisora was frustrated by the lack of jabs, movement, and basic setup work from Wardley, saying he looked obsessed with landing one massive punch instead of boxing intelligently. According to Chisora, Fabio completely abandoned the things that helped him reach the top in the first place. That criticism also says a lot about how dangerous Daniel Dubois looked in there, because once the pressure started building, Wardley seemed to lose all structure and discipline. The fallout from the fight has now become even bigger due to the PED accusations aimed at Dubois, but many inside boxing still believe Fabio's tactical mistakes played a huge role in how one-sided and brutal the contest eventually became.
Fabio was not ready for boxing. He was no jab, nothing, looking for power shots. It's like he didn't train. He was too busy commentating. Little bastard. He was supposed to fucking train in the gym. How many jabs did Fabio chuck? Less jabs. He didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything with him.
Dominic Ingle praised both heavyweights for producing one of the most dramatic and exhausting fights seen in recent years. Ingle respected Fabio Wardley's toughness and refusal to quit, but he was equally impressed with how composed Daniel Dubois remained despite the chaos inside the ring. Dubois did not panic when things became difficult and continued following the game plan even while tired himself. That discipline is one of the main reasons many supporters are backing Dubois strongly against the accusations now surrounding him. They believe the victory came from preparation, patience, and smart pressure rather than anything suspicious. Still, because the fight was so violent and physically demanding, the debate around Dubois has only grown louder across the boxing world.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit, his corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley had still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag, he looked dead on his feet. But what a fight.
Fraser Clark described the fight as pure heavyweight chaos and admitted it may not have been the cleanest technical performance, but it delivered exactly what fight fans love to watch. Clark especially noted how Daniel Dubois reacted after adversity and adjusted as the fight continued. That ability to recover mentally after being hurt impressed a lot of people, because Dubois has faced criticism for years about his mentality under pressure. Now, after surviving difficult moments and breaking Fabio Wardley down round by round, many believe Dubois has matured massively as a fighter. Even with PED rumors dominating headlines, supporters of Dubois keep pointing toward his improvements, experience, and confidence as the real reasons behind such a devastating victory. David Haye was blown away by the entertainment value of the fight and called it one of the most captivating heavyweight battles he has ever watched. Haye praised the bravery, heart, and relentless action shown by both men from start to finish. Performances like that are exactly why heavyweight boxing remains one of the biggest attractions in world sport. However, because Daniel Dubois looked so physically dominant during large parts of the fight, the aftermath quickly shifted away from celebration and toward suspicion online. Some fans started questioning whether the power and intensity shown by Dubois was completely natural, while others defended him by saying elite heavyweights are supposed to look destructive at this level.
I've never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that 10 times over on it.
Daniel Dubois opened up honestly about the difficult moments he experienced during the fight and explained how the slap in the corner helped reset his focus mentally. Dubois described having to enter a dark place emotionally in order to survive and come through the battle on top. Those comments show that the fight was far from easy for him despite how dominant he eventually became. Many fans online are focusing only on the destruction he caused, but Dubois himself is talking more about resilience, recovery, and mentality. That is why supporters continue defending him strongly against the PED accusations, because they believe his performance came from heart, experience, and sheer determination under pressure.
Yeah, I needed that slap just to wake up. stating reality. It's just not slip. I got to dig deep. And as a warrior, you have to dig deep because got to go to that dark place and come out on top.
David Adeli believes Daniel Dubois gained confidence throughout the fight because the jab kept working perfectly against Fabio Wardley. Adeli explained that every successful jab slowly convinced Dubois he could stand his ground and control the exchanges without fear. That is a massive point because many people expected Dubois to mentally collapse after getting hurt earlier in the contest. Instead, he stayed composed, trusted the basics, and gradually broke Wardley down. The conversation around the fight may now be dominated by PED allegations, but analysts like Adeli are pointing toward technical details and ring IQ as the real explanation behind Dubois' success. According to them, the victory was built on timing, discipline, and constant pressure rather than anything unnatural. Daniel Dubois once again reflected on the emotional roller coaster of the Fabio Wardley fight and admitted he felt nervous and unsettled during the early stages. Dubois gave credit to Wardley's toughness, while also explaining how he mentally rebuilt himself after adversity struck inside the ring. The heavyweight insisted the corner slap was exactly what he needed to regain focus and push through exhaustion. These are not the words of somebody pretending the fight was easy, because Dubois openly acknowledged how close and demanding the battle actually became at times. Even with accusations and controversy hanging over him right now, Dubois continues presenting himself as a fighter who won through grit, recovery, and championship mentality rather than anything illegal.
What a warrior he is, and came through that test. Coming off the back of a loss, I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory.
No matter which side of the debate people are standing on right now, one thing is undeniable. Daniel Dubois has become the center of the heavyweight boxing world once again. From brutal knockdowns to explosive reactions from legends, trainers, and former champions, this fight against Fabio Wardley has created massive controversy across the sport. Some fans are convinced Dubois simply evolved into a more dangerous and confident fighter, while others still have serious questions after the PED allegations started spreading online. But until anything official says otherwise, Dubois himself is standing firm and continuing to insist that everything he achieved came through hard work, discipline, and sacrifice inside the gym. What makes this story even bigger is how divided the boxing world has become after such a violent and unforgettable fight. Now all eyes are on what happens next for both heavyweights, because one decision could completely change the future of the division. But what do you think after hearing all these reactions? Is Daniel Dubois being unfairly accused, or do fans have the right to question such a dominant performance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on for more boxing updates every single week.